making praline pecans, which is sugared pecans. You basically melt butter with heavy cream, white sugar, and brown sugar until it boils and caramelizes a little bit. And then you stir in pecans and keep stirring. And what happens is the caramelized sugar clings to the pecans, encoding them in like a sugar candy shell, which makes the nuts stay crunchy, which is what you want in ice cream. So it's kind of like similar to the concept of M&Ms with the hard candy shell. It keeps the chocolate from melting. It makes the chocolate melt in your mouth, not in your hand. Remember that commercial? Well, with praline pecans, you keep the nut crunch, which is something my mom, I remember, always loved. You know, she wanted to eat pecans because they were her favorite nut, but she loved them when they were crunchy. And she noticed that when they get put into cakes and whatever, they lose that. They get the opposite of crunchy. They're still a pecan, but you're lacking the crunch. So I'm making this ice cream for my friend Armendra, so he will get to try it. But I'm also hoping to bring some to my mama too, who's a mile away from me at the moment. So that is caramel, however you want to say, caramel or caramel pralines. I know they're really big in the South, so any Southerners that are watching, forgive me if I pronounce that incorrectly. I'm just the one making them. Like, don't judge me for how I say pralines, because I'm not from the South, just southeastern Ohio. And I love that these ingredients are all things that I always have on hand. I always have sugar, brown sugar, butter, and cream, because those are kind of the foundation of the desserts that I make. But also, having studied keto and the ketogenic lifestyle, avoiding sugar, pretty much every recipe I make now, I want to be able to have the option to make it keto friendly, because there are people that, and myself included, that for the most part avoid sugar. There's so much of it out there, but when it comes to, I like what Suzanne Summers said about sugar. She said it's better to eat real sugar sparingly than to kind of go crazy on the sugar-free this and the sugar-free that. But then there's also times when you really want something sweet and you really are avoiding sugar. So it's all about balance. And I have not, attempted to make this keto, but I know that I could, just because there's so many substitutes out there now that weren't there 10, 20 years ago, the first time I avoided sugar in my diet. So I'm not entirely avoiding it. I do treat myself to my desserts. I like to say it's not just a dessert, it's a Deb's dessert. So this is one of my homemade ones, and there is something different about a homemade dessert over something prepackaged, pre-made. I like watching this. It's kind of satisfying. It's taking a long time to come to a boil. This is where editing skills would be helpful, which I don't have yet. So for now, I'm going to shut this off and put my focus on the pan. I see it starting to boil now. I don't want to lose track of it too much. So I will go ahead and shut off the camera and come back later with updates.